I cannot believe that I'm only a minute late, because for me, a minute late is 15 minutes early. It is so good to be here. And I promise I'm going to try to keep this as short as possible, because we are going into quite the season in 2023, and I want you to know all about it, but I also don't want you to be overwhelmed by it, nor do I want you going, oh Lord, if I have to listen to this, what else am I going to have to listen to? Because I am going to be asking a lot of you. A lot of you. So, howdy everybody. This is, I think, the first or the second video of 2023. In literally 10 days, we are going to be celebrating our 10-year, our 5-year anniversary. I'm getting ahead of myself. Lace on Race came into existence in January of 2018. And good Lord, so many things have happened. Big things, small things, relational things that I am more than excited about, in the sense of I'm trying to do this really fast, because in half an hour I'm going to be at the Hamlet at what's called an elder circle, where we are going to be doing almost a speed dating with older, seasoned women of a certain age and young women who want to learn how to do activism well, who want to learn how to do praxis well, and making ourselves available as a resource. Lace on Race is actually sponsoring 5 of these women to be able to go and partake in the tea and partake in all the women, and it is our absolute pleasure to be able to do exactly that. This year, it has been very interesting to figure out what we want to do in the next 5 years. Lace on Race has morphed over time, but a lot of times people will say, well, you know, what are you anyway? And things will morph, things will change. New policies, and we're going to talk about that, new approaches to older ideas. We are always going to be new people doing new things in new ways, but there is a core from which we will not waver. So this is just basically a heads up to let you know that we're going to be dropping a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, wow, introductory essays for those of you who are coming to us new in 2023, or people who are coming back and want a refresher. Just who is Lace? That's me. I'm a real person. And you know, it's been interesting, because some people have questioned, is there really a Lace? Yep, there's really a Lace. It's right here. And then, what are you guys about? So I wrote another essay that I vetted with my leadership team, because I was using the royal we, and speaking for not just leadership team, but also for the community as a whole, who we are and who we are not. Those 2 essays are already up. Vicky's just making them pretty, and we're going to be posting them up on all platforms except Twitter, which now makes for video number 8, why we are no longer on the Twitter platform. Let me write it down. Twitter. And then the next one that I hopefully will finish tonight is who we hope you are. What we hope that you are doing your best to try to want to be. And I think that that is a really big deal. When we're talking about who it is that we hope you are, it matters, because how you enter into the space that we have co-created, what you expect from it, what you expect from yourself, is going to matter for as long as you're here. 3 minutes, 3 hours, 3 days, 3 years. We are going to be talking a lot about expectations, what we owe each other, crucially, what we owe to each other. So the big question that I hope will be answered by you to yourself, and also in the way that you interact and engage with this space, you'll be answering it with us, is who we hope you are, and or who you are hoping to become. The next essay is fun, but it's also sobering. This one is how we do what we do, and why we do what we do. And then the next essay, is an important one. It comes out of the work that I am currently doing with one of the denominations that I engage with, Mennonite Church USA. I am currently, to dispel any rumors, the rumors are true. I am indeed doing my best to become licensed within Mennonite Church USA. What I do with that licensure is up to me, is up to them, is up to Pacific Southwest. We can do a lot with it. But yes, I am pursuing that path. And one of the things that I'm going to be talking about next month, actually, in Pastors and Leaders 2023, and I am actually going to do a live that basically is going to pretend that you're there at Pastors and Leaders, because I want people to hear it. I also want people to hear last year's as well. Is on the issue of distinctiveness. How distinctiveness carries with it a confidence, but also hopefully a humility. We are different from anything else you're going to see out there. And yes, I've looked. That's both a cautious, quiet yay, but it also can bring some risks inherent. And I want to be able to talk about those things. If we weren't different, there would be no need for us to exist. But we are different in how we approach the issue of racism and white supremacy, how we meld that to applied relational ethics, because at the end of the day, we feel that a communal response, a collective response to racism and white supremacy is the only way to go. You cannot do it alone. And it is doomed to, at best, be ineffective, and at worst, to sabotage and harm the people that you say you want to stand for and with. The next essay is going to be about new policies and gussied up guidelines. I wrote those guidelines, the first guidelines, in 2018. We revised them in 2020. Here we are in 2023. And there are some guidelines that could use some revision, and we're going to revise them. We're going to add some, and we might take a look and kind of take some away too. When we are new people doing things in new ways, we always have to look at what we're doing, check for best practices, see if there's new best practices that we can incorporate, and if there are things that we are doing that are dated or dusty, to be able to have both the humility and the courage to get rid of them. Again, keeping our ethos front and center, unwavering at the core. And yes, the last essay, one of them, you're going to see it a lot, is an unapologetic commitment to the ask. And in fact, you're going to see maybe tonight, probably tomorrow, that's going to be my beginning ask for the month of January going into 2023. Is something that I wrote literally 5 years ago, pretty much about the same time I started Lace on Race. It is salty. It is not unkind. It does not go outside of ethos, but it's not supplicative either. It's not please, no. It's, I'm a Black woman that deserves to be compensated like my colleagues do. And 5 years later, 2 years after going on 3 years, after the Black Spring of 2023, there are fewer Black women in the racial justice landscape than there were. That's true. That's one reason why, even though our own revenues went down a lot, We've stayed committed to community partners. We will do what the vast majority of white people will not. And as you'll see in the essay that I'm going to rerun, one reason that it's a free-ish space is to allow, just like we're doing at the Hamlet, to allow everybody to partake. This is an ethos that needs to be ingrained again, that needs to become reflexive again, that needs to stop being punished. Not just me, but all the other women, including the women whose names you don't see anymore because they gave up and left the arena. We need to really take a hard look at that. And so we are going to be doing what I call Money Mondays, where we are going to talk about not just the ask, but also the business of philanthropy, the business of social justice, and the industry that is now racial justice. Sometimes it's masked or diluted by calling it D&I or diversity and inclusion and belonging these days. All words that, wow, until they got co-opted and neutered and defanged, actually meant something. And I'm also going to rerun 2 videos from 2020 at the height of the Black Spring. We got some national attention, and I've looked at them again, and it's like, this is exactly it. Let's see, I was on the coronavirus couch, not here, but the words still stay the same. So I'm going to be rerunning those with some commentary on top. And I'm going to be at the end of each and every one of them, like I'm doing here, to ask for your continued support, to ask that you show up in tangible ways, not just monetarily, but certainly monetarily, but also in terms of showing up and making comments, showing up and truly being part of community. I know that people think that they're complimenting me when they say how much they love what I write, but they just don't think they're smart enough. And we're going to actually, let me write this down. We need to write this one down too. They don't think that they have the right to say anything because of the lives that they've led, or they don't feel they're smart enough or articulate enough, and they feel intimidated, or they feel that their past disqualifies them about speaking to their present goals and their future commitments. And I want to make sure that people know that that doesn't have to be the case. So this is what we're doing over the next 20 days. That's a lot. We're also going to be doing some other stuff because, good Lord, there's so much to do. We're also going to be giving a very special thanks to the woman who has been on my leadership team the longest. We are going to thank her in a very special way. And we'll also be asking for people to not necessarily fill Danny's shoes, because those shoes cannot be filled, but to help us to continue to do the work. The irony is that there's more work to do than ever. And so we are looking for people who either want to nominate themselves or nominate other people, or heed the call when we reach out to them. There's so much to do. The Black Spring didn't have to be over. One of the things that we are going to do to entice people to choose to become sustainers at any amount, we don't set an amount, is that we are going to start giving little gifts away. Whether it be stickers for new sustainers that are willing to sustain for 2 months, or perhaps a notebook or some note cards, but also once a month to do something big. And one of the things that I love is doing books. We were going to be talking a lot about friendships this year, and this is an amazing book, which, along with the one from Beverly Tatum, Why Are All the Black Kids Sitting in the Cafeteria, and another poignant one that makes me cry every single time I attempt to read it, which is why it's taken me 3 months to try to get through 3 chapters, is called To All My White Friends Who Walked Away. It is an amazing book. But I think that in order to be ready for that book, we need to read this one. So for all of the sustainers who do this in January 2023, they will be in a drawing, and what they will get is this book. They can have a choice of either getting a new book or my writing in, or getting the one that I have written in and marked up and done all the stuff to. It will have a special thank you on the front page from me, and I will pepper it. I already have. I will pepper it with post-it notes and commentaries so that you can know how I think. So when we do the ask later on, tomorrow or the next day, I will let people know exactly how to do it. If you are giving through PayPal, which is our preferred mode, we have your email address. And so basically we'll just take that, put it all in and then pluck it out. And we will make sure that we get a copy of this to you. There are some people who are not eligible. Leadership team and staff are not eligible. I'm not eligible. I'm on leadership team, but everybody else is. If you are already a sustaining member, your name will be put in the hat. Don't worry about it. If you are new though, your name will also be put in the hat. And in fact, since I will be paying for this personally, if I decide that I can pull it off, what I might do is buy two. One for new sustainers and one for sustainers who have been around, because A, I think the book is just that good, and two, I do not want anyone to be able to miss out or have to miss out. So this is what we're doing for the month of January as we lead into Black History Month, and I cannot wait. One of my goals, my 2023 goals, at the top of 2023, you know that I'm part of the recovery movement. My training is as an addiction counselor and specialist, and one of the things that people who do 12-step programs do is they talk about 90 in 90. And so one of the things that I am committing to for the month of January and February and March is to do 90 in 90, either an essay or a video, maybe even both, but 90 in 90. And it doesn't matter if I go and do what I sometimes do, which is power out 5 things in one day. That's one, that counts as one, but to continue to be doing it. And also another essay that we can talk about, and I will put this here, how you can help. There are a lot of changes going in the social media landscape these days. I spent a good part of yesterday looking at the changes in YouTube and finally figuring out why our videos don't get the traction that they should. That's because every other word I say is a banned word for YouTube, and it demonetizes, and it just does not allow it to push. And I think that that's true for Facebook as well. In order for us to be able to get the traction we need you. Facebook is not going to feed it to you. You have to come. Same thing with YouTube, same thing with Instagram. We'll talk about why we left Twitter. Elon Musk is part of it, but not the only reason. It is 18 minutes and 33 seconds. I said that I was going to get out under 20, and I think I'm going to do that as usual. As usual. I thank you for giving me your time and your attention. Smash the like button, subscribe, hit the notification bell. If you are on YouTube watching this, if you're on Facebook, do all the stuff for Facebook, same for Instagram. If you have any questions or comments, leave them underneath. I am excited to answer all of them. 2023 is going to be an amazing year, even more so than the last 5 years, as we all work to lessen and mitigate the harm endured by Black and brown people, perpetuated by white people and by white supremacy. And I hope that you are willing to get on this journey with me and to become the person that you say you want to be in service to the people you say you want to stand for and with. You will also see our PayPal link below. We are going to be way more directive and overt about it. I have a lot to say and I want to stick around, and I can't do this and work for Jack in the Box. So, and also community partners, and also scholarships and fellowships and also paid internships. We're going to talk a lot about what's gone down in the last 2 years and why at the end of the day, it doesn't matter. What matters is what the people in front of me are doing and thinking and saying and how they engage or not. Regardless, I am going to keep my commitments to you all. You are deeply loved. See you tomorrow, 90 and 90.